What's up, guys? Armando Science here with ArmandoScience.com, and we're about to hop into this training here. But before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know that I also took this exact training and I put it together in an easy to follow consumable PDF guide. So if you guys want that, you can just leave a comment anywhere on this post with the word get, and I'll be more than happy to private message that for you. I mean, you don't really have to get it, right? It's not required, but I highly encourage it. You can always watch this video, rewind it, take notes, and save the video and do all that. But I did put it together in including step-by-step checklist of what you need to do. So one other thing, I'm putting this training together because I'm really kind of tired of people putting together hour-long webinars only to just really suck up a lot of time. They don't provide any real value or training, and they're really just designed to keep you on the hook for about an hour of your time, and then to try to sell you some sort of expensive, software or three-step program or whatnot. So what you're going to learn here in the next few minutes is how to actually set up your own Facebook ad that generates leads for your fitness studio, whether you're a personal trainer or you own a big gym, or you're just a solo guy or a yoga studio or whatnot. This is going to get you going in the next few minutes. It's quick and dirty, and it's completely free. So let's get started. So there's a few things that you need to understand first. When we're doing something like this, when we have people that we are trying to attract to our business, and any business that we run, we follow the exact same pattern, right? You need people, you need eyeballs that are looking at your business, that are going to walk by your store, or that are in some way, shape, or form connecting with your business or becoming aware of your business. This is the people section here, right? So usually somebody refers to this as traffic. They refer to this as eyeballs. Think of it this way: if you own a cupcake store, and the only way people come into your store, the first thing they have to do is these people have to be aware that you're there. So you have to have traffic, a whole bunch of people that are aware of your store. There's no difference in that than with this with your personal fitness business. So you need people, you need traffic. This traffic is going to come from Facebook. It's because absolutely the best, hands down the best place to generate high quality leads for your fitness studio. Now once these people become aware of you, they get interested, right? They get interested in what you've got. They get interested in your business. It's at that point that becomes a lead. So a person is a traffic stream that then becomes a lead, and a lead is just an interest in what you've got going on. And after they become a lead, if you provide enough value, and if you actually solve their problems, or if you're the solutions to their problems, then there's a transaction, there's a conversion that happens. So we go from people that are aware of your business, and we take them and make them interested in what you've got to offer. And then if you can deliver and if you can solve their problems, then there's going to be a positive conversion. There's going to be a transaction that happens, and that's where they become your clients. Now here's a few things that we're going to need to identify, and you're going to need to know this to create a successful ad. So you're going to have an offer, and if you have a personal fitness business, chances are that you already have an offer, because I see guys offering free trials for a day. I see guys who are offering free trials for a week. I see yoga studios who are saying come in at 50% off. I see Pilates classes that say come in and get 3 classes for free. I see Father's Day promotions. I see summer vacation promotions. I see back to school promotions. So chances are that you already have an offer. Just think of whatever offer it is that you want to give away, or that you want to make people interested in. And then you're gonna want to know who you really want to work with, because you definitely don't want to work with every single person that's out there. Maybe a typical 18-year-old isn't your ideal client, isn't somebody who's going to try yoga. If you're a yoga studio, an 18-year-old male is probably not going to be who your ideal client is. So we want to know exactly who we want to attract. And then you want to have video or images of actual people working in your studio, actual people working out, or maybe pictures of your setup or something like that. Videos preferred, but if you don't have videos, images will work just fine. And if you don't have either, I'm going to show you how to choose some that might work for you. And we're going to grab an ad copy that we already have here for the sake of the training, and we're going to explain to this in more detail in the guide. So if you really, I highly encourage you guys to get the guide. Just leave a message, or I'm sorry, leave a comment in this post, and I'll go ahead and I'll message that to you. So let's get started. So we're gonna go ahead and create an ad using Facebook. So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to log into our Facebook personal account. And you guys know you can't create advertising on your personal profile, so it has to be on a business page. So you're gonna click on the Facebook icon here, and you're gonna scroll down. Sorry about that. You're gonna scroll down here where you see this option that says Ad Manager. Now in Ads Manager, this is the place where we come in, we create advertising for our page. The one thing to know in Ads Manager is that you have to make sure that you're logged in and that you have selected your own ad account here. So if you're the business owner, chances are this is going to be your name, because you're not running ads for anyone else. So just make sure that your name is selected here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a campaign, and then we're going to create an ad set, and then we're going to create an ad, and I'm going to show you how all that works and how all that happens at once. Okay, so down here click on create campaign, and this is going to bring us to the campaign settings. This is where the entire process starts of creating a Facebook ad. So if you notice on the left hand side here, we have 3 tiers, sort of like a tree, a hierarchy here, right? We start at the campaign level. The campaign is like an umbrella, so think of this campaign as a folder, right? Inside of that folder you have ad sets, which means that you have files, right? You have like pieces of paper inside of that folder. Now inside on that piece of paper you have writings, right? You have different writings. Maybe one piece of paper is a drawing that you made, maybe another piece of paper is a love letter, another one might be a poem, and so forth. So if campaign is a folder, and inside this folder there are multiple sheets of paper, and inside each and on each sheet of paper you have creative that's on that. So that's how this works. The very first step is choosing a campaign for this training, because I really want you guys to get the most out of this training, and I want you guys to implement this, because if you do this, you will start generating leads within days, sometimes within the same day. This isn't like a fluff training where you're on a webinar for an hour. This isn't going to be more than like 20 minutes long max. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come here to this campaign tab, which is where we're at here, and we're asked to select our objective. Now what we're going to do right now for this training is choose traffic. Now traffic means that we're going to send people to a destination. We're going to send them somewhere so that they can then decide if they're going to be interested, if they're going to go and become interested in what we've got, if they're going to become leads. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do here is name this campaign. Now you want to name this something that actually makes sense for you. If you are doing promotions for, let's say, November, a November promo, then label this November plus whatever that is. In my case, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to offer something for new members to come into my gym because I just moved. Okay, so we're gonna say this one's called Grand Opening. Okay, and I'm gonna click continue, and you've noticed that now I went from objective, and Facebook automatically put me in the second tier here on the paper section that we talked about, that analogy. This is where we select our offer, our audience, our placement, our budgets, etc. We start from the very top, and we have an ad set name, and we're going to label this something that makes sense to us, but we're going to come back to that because we're going to keep going down here. Now we have traffic. Okay, where do we want these people to go? We want them to go to an app or install an app, or do we want them to go to a website or messenger? We're going to select this one by default, website or messenger. Now we're going to leave offer alone. We're not going to mess with this right now, but what we are going to mess with is audience. Remember we talked about that. We looked at this screen when we first started here a few minutes ago, and we said we want to make sure you know who you want to work with. Who you want to work with is extremely important. So what typically is going to happen here, and I'm going to give you something that these guys are who are keeping you on hour-long webinars are charging you probably $2,000 for. Is I'm going to give you the targeting for your fitness studio so you can generate the perfect ad. Okay, so the very first thing that you're going to do, as a fitness studio, you are a local business. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And local businesses thrive, well, on geography, on a geographical location. Chances are that your customers are right within a certain amount of radius of your business, because nobody's going to go travel 30-40 miles to your fitness studio unless you're just like incredible and there's absolutely no other fitness studio around. So everything that you do is going to be based on location. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the location of my fitness studio that I'm going to use here, and I'm going to plug it in here, right? And I'm going to enter that address in there. I'm going to let Facebook search for it, and it's found it right there. And then I'm going to say that I want to go about a 5-mile radius. 5-mile radius from the center of that out. And usually if you stay within 5 to 10 miles, you're gonna see really great results for that. There are exceptions, obviously, if you live like in a county or in a pocket of area where it's sort of like the population isn't that big, but for the most part, between 5 to 10 mile radius outside of your address of your studio is where your customers are going to be hanging out. Now here where it says location, everyone in this location is good, just leave that alone, and we're going to go down and narrow our audience even further. Now as a studio owner, I know that I typically work with people who are between the ages of 27 and let's say 48, right? Now this is gonna vary. This is gonna vary from studio to studio. So you just plug in whoever it is that your customer base is, who buys from you, and who exactly is the best customer that you possibly have. That's really the range that you want to be in. And then you're deciding if you want to target male and female. Now I'm gonna give you a big tip here. Never do male and female in the same ad. Always separate them, because how you speak to men is going to be different than how you speak to women. In this case, I'm going to target women for my ad, and that gives us a grand total of 59,000 people that we can potentially reach. Okay, so I'm not going to include anything else over here, even though you can do one more detailed targeting. This is usually enough to get some pretty solid results, right? So now we have our location in here. We have a 5-mile radius from the center of that location. We know that we want to work with people who are between 27 and 48, and we know that we want to work with predominantly females, or this offer is going to be female driven. Now we want to come down here where it says placement, and we definitely want to edit this, because we do not want to be placed everywhere, because our ad's not going to be effective that way. We're going to click on edit placements, and we're gonna go where it says device types and expand that, and we're only going to select mobile in this case. So in other words, we only want to advertise to people who are on their phones, and there's a reason behind that. We're not gonna get into that. Just know that this is gonna give you the best bang for your buck right now. Everything else we want to uncheck, so we want to make sure that this is unchecked. We want to make sure that the audience network is unchecked. We want to make sure that Instagram is unchecked. And then we want to expand, where it says platforms, expand the Facebook name right there. We also want to make sure that we uncheck instant articles. Basically, we only want to show up in the newsfeed, in the Facebook mobile newsfeed. All right, so now we're going to go here to budget and schedule. There's 2 options that you can choose here: daily budget and lifetime budget. You can start off low. You don't have to go crazy with this. It's a common misconception thinking that you have to go and spend $3,000 or $4,000 from the get-go. Now you could get to that if you start to see positive return, but initially you don't have to. So for the sake of this, I'm going to just do a $10 a day campaign, and I'm going to spend $7 a week, and then we're going to come down here to optimization and bid strategy and all that stuff. So link clicks, that means you're going to pay when somebody clicks the link. You want to leave that alone. And bid amount, you want to leave that on automatic, because manual requires a bit more of an advanced training. Getting charged, CPC is fine every time somebody clicks your link. Now you notice that I said in the beginning we're going to change this, right? So we're going to label this something that actually makes sense. We're going to say women, right? and we're gonna say 27 to 48, and we're gonna say mobile 5+ miles, and that actually makes a lot of sense. We can look at this later for reporting purposes and automatically see that we're targeting women between the ages of 28 and 48 on a mobile device, and it's a 5-mile radius from our fitness studio. So we're gonna click continue, and that's gonna bring us to the ad level. This is where all the creative is going to happen. This is like that blank sheet of paper where you're going to start creating your ads. Now, the very first thing that you notice is, again, ad name, and we're going to do this last. What we want to do here is select the page that we want to be advertising from. So choose the page that you want, or that corresponds to your business. In this case, I'm going to choose a test page right here called Living Fort Bend, so you guys can kind of see what that's going to look like. And under format, you get several options. A carousel is when you get anywhere between 2 to 6 squares, and you get to put a whole bunch of information in there. Then you have single image, single video, slideshow, and a collection. My recommendation is always video. Whenever you have video is much more impactful, and you want to use that. But if you don't have video, then and you have images of actual people working out, good quality image. Don't put garbage out there. Put some good quality images of people going through the motion, showing exactly what it is that people actually are gonna get. Choose slideshow. But if you don't have slideshow, then a single image will work just fine. Now we're gonna leave this full screen experience alone. Now you're going to come to the image section here, and this is where you can either upload your images. If I click this button, a window is going to open up where I can choose my files, or I can browse the library, and this is a set of images that I've already uploaded in here, or I can always choose stock images. Now, stock images, obviously, you know, they're non-branded images. They're very generic. So if you don't have video and you don't have images of your staff and people working out, then this should be your last option. I highly recommend you get some good pictures of what's happening in your fitness studio. So just for the sake of this training, I'm just going to type in CrossFit in here, and just to see what sort of images come up here. And these are all the ones that are available. Now if you decide to go with the stock images, you want to pick something that's got a lot of contrast, something that's going to stick out a little bit. This is actually kind of cool right here, so I'm gonna choose that, and then I'm gonna click done. And what my post or what my ad is actually gonna look like is a preview right here. Now we're gonna go down here where it says links, and this is the destination. This is where we're going to send people to, and then obviously headline and text. So let's go and let's adjust the text here. Let's take the ad copy, and I'm gonna show you what to do here. So under text, just copy that right there, and that's actually gonna show up at the very top of that. And we want to space this out. We want to add emojis because they're going to convert a little bit better. So this one says attention Cypress because our studio's in Cypress, so call people out. We've opened a new location and are doing something special to celebrate. Now what I want to do here is I want to spice this up a little bit, and I want to enter a little celebrate emoji or party. You know, there we go. I'm gonna copy that, and it's actually gonna put it right there. See that right there? That's what that's gonna look like. And then I said we are offering a free class to the first 50 ladies that want to sweat and get their workout. Click learn more below. Now this is perfect, right? I'm gonna break this up a little bit, put it on 2 lines. So that we can have a little bit more space, and that's what it's going to look like. And I'm going to add another little emoji here. Okay, so click learn more below, pointing at that. Now the call to action button, since I'm saying learn more here, we're going to leave that at learn more, and we're going to add our description in here as well. Now the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is links. typically we want to send people to a destination URL, but you don't have to. This takes up more time. You have to create a landing page, or you have to create some sort of opt-in form for you to capture that information. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do something different. We're going to send people to Messenger, which means that when somebody clicks on this ad, we're going to slide right into their DMs. That's what's going to happen. So if we click on Messenger, we're then now going to click on set up Messenger content. And this is the actual message that people will receive once they click on the ad. Now we can do images and text, and we can do a video. Doing a video is actually pretty cool because you can do a little welcome video that says, hey, thank you for your interest in our 50 person giveaway. How can I get you started, or something like that. Before, for this training, we're gonna choose text. Text works just fine. Now this is optional introduction text. I always just leave that alone, and this is the actual message that people are gonna get right here. So I'm gonna say, thanks for your interest. Would you like to come in for a free class? Right? And then this button here, I want them to engage with me. I want them to click yes, because until they click yes, they're not really interested yet, right? Your page automatically sends them a message, but until they click yes, the communication can start, which is very important. So you want to make this message right here conversational. The other thing is that I want to I can always insert emojis in here, and emojis are pretty cool because people like those, right? So I'm gonna where's the little finger? Here it is right here. So I'm gonna put that little finger in there, right there, right? And I'm gonna give it click yes. Don't assume that people know what you want them to do. So this is what I did here. Thanks for your interest. Would you like to come in for a free class? Click yes. If they click yes, that's going to automatically send me a message and start the conversation. And from here, I can start to message them back and say, hey, here are times, let me book you, let me do my sales pitch and that sort of stuff. Now, where it says action here, since there's no website that you're going to send them to, just go ahead and click on send post back. And this is optional. It's just really for them to engage, and then the message shows up. Now let's take a look at what happens in here once this gets set. So we're gonna preview this in the app, and I'm gonna open up another window in here so you guys can kind of see what's happening. Now if I would have clicked on that ad, I would have immediately gotten a message like this, right? Thank you for your interest. Would you like to come in for a free class? And I click yes, and then the conversation starts. I can already message this person back because I've engaged. So this is pretty cool. This is a way to do it without having to have a landing page, and brings everything into a more personal setting. Now later on, you can automate this stuff. Again, guys, I encourage you to get that free PDF that I put together, because I break some of these steps down in there, and it's pretty cool stuff. All right, so now that we've got that, we're gonna write a headline. This headline is gonna be in here. Say, get your. We're gonna say something like, come work out for free. Limited spots available. All right, and we're gonna add another little emoji finger. If you want to add more than a finger, feel free to add more than a finger. In fact, I encourage you to add more than a finger. I just want to make this really quick and actionable for you guys to get out there and create your ad. So boom, there it is. Your ad is created. That's what it's going to look like when we run it. You don't really need to have newsfeed link description, because on mobile devices, you don't really see that. There's nothing else that needs to happen in here. All you need to do is place your order, right here, and then wait for Facebook to actually approve that. And once you do this, within a few days, you're gonna start to see people clicking this ad. You're gonna start to see interest, and you're going to start to see people messaging you, asking you for information on your offer. And at that point, then you've got a lead, and you can convert that lead into a sale once they show up to your fitness studio. Quick and dirty, pretty easy. You didn't have to spend an hour on a webinar that was useless, that didn't provide any value, and it sucked up a lot of your time and energy and money. Take what you've seen here, implement it, rewind this video, save this video, take notes, download the PDF step-by-step guide, and roll with it. And do me one last favor: if you enjoyed this and you really liked for me to put out more content like this, just go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, share it, and actually I'll go ahead and put more content out like this. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching this. I hope that you take this and you really take action, because there's absolutely no need for you guys to spend thousands of dollars on programs that are basically going to teach you the exact same thing that I just showed you for free.